Hey fellow comrades, how you guys been doing? It's your boys in here, and today I wanted to make this video addressing to you guys what's been currently happening, and I will be standing because basically the audio is gonna be, it's definitely gonna be low quality because I'm not really close to it, and the more closer to you are to your snowball, the quality tends to rise up. But I have a little bit more easier time communicating as I'm moving my body, in particular my arms. This is something that I've come to realize, you know, over the past of my life and whatnot. But I want to address to you guys the things that's been currently happening with me, how the channel is handling right now stuff, and basically to let you guys know that December is the month that I'm definitely going to be a little bit more free than November, which I was actually kind of busy, you know, studying a lot, but it managed to pull through, ladies and gentlemen, as I'm going to address the things that's been happening regarding my classes. But I also want to say that the reason I'm making this video is to update you guys on my channel, but most of all to let you guys know, because you guys have the Patreons, the 14 Patreons that I currently have. If any of you guys are watching this, which I'm kind of, you know, going towards it. Some of them probably are, because, you know, they definitely you know, take that dedication and just support me on a whole new scale. And as I said before, I will forever be grateful for the generosity you have shown. And I also want to address a particular patron, but we're going to go into that a little bit later. What I want to say is that I'm mostly talking about school right now, how stuff are going, because as I said before, my Patreon is, well, my YouTube and my Patreon right now. Patreon is supporting my financing, the evening school I'm taking. And, you know, we already like put, this month I had to like pay 400 euros into it. That was already you know, the one take. We still have 2 more takes to go, and then already, you know, I still have to save up free. So there is going to be lots of work put into it, but we're doing it, ladies and gentlemen. I got a couple of classes already done. We had psychology, which is the whole reason why I'm actually standing right now, guys, is because, like I said before, I have easier time communicating as I'm moving my body. But I've mentioned this to my teacher today. He was like, would you rather want to sit down as I'm giving you questions, or would you rather stand? And I made it pretty clear, as I mentioned to you guys right now, on whether or not I want to sit or stand. So I decided to stand, and I nailed that one. Man, we nailed it. And it was funny because basically, you know, I'm not gonna address grades in like particular, like I could say A, B, C, D, you know, basically how people in America tend to get their grades, but I'm not too sure how I should address my grades, so I'm just gonna put it this way. We got a 5 out of 5. Too much water, you know? We got a straight 5 out of 5. We nailed it perfectly. There was not a single drop in communication. We had conflict, communication, you know, stress, and all these questions that he asked me, and you know, we got it right through, straight A's without a single problem, without any you know, break in communication. So that was awesome. And you had to, you know, we had to look at the guy into his eyes, because again, psychology. So, but it was really intriguing. The classes were really intriguing, and I really listened to him. And it's really funny because it was one of those classes that the teaching he did, I didn't like felt asleep, which I never really do, but I sometimes feel there are some teachers that you really want to get in, but then you're like, but this is the teaching, the way they teach, it's just not the way I want to be taught, if you know what I mean. But yeah, we nailed that. And it was funny because I didn't study at all, but it was psychology, and psychology comes down from life experiences. You know, like, I know most of the things that happened to me, so the questions he put towards me were the questions that were generally experienced through life. So, you know, it's a general practice as a person, and I could just second guys. So where were we? Right, yeah, psychology. But that's let's skip psychology for now. You know, like as I mentioned, psychology is over for this year. We got it right, we got it done. Next class that we took was math, and math was never really my strongest point. I never really studied math. Like, basically when I was younger, I didn't study much. Like, when I had a friend 5 years older than me, like she had really good grades, and every time she come to my house and teach me stuff, I tend to have like basically I nailed every test in that way. Like when I really like put my mind and thoughts into it, it gone perfectly. But you know, then after a while I kind of lost myself to a certain degree, and I didn't study much, and then the grades just weren't there. That was in the past. Now in the present, right now, we got 4 out of 5. So I'm actually pretty proud of myself regarding math, because again, as I said, math is not my strongest point. But then again, math is a subject where you really need to understand how to calculate something right. And generally, when you know the tricks, you know, when you know the steps, there is just basically nothing stopping you, as long as you know them. You know, you don't have to like memorize and then forget after a while. No, you actually need to learn and know them how they work for a while. But yes, so math 4 out of 5. Then we got advanced hardware maintenance. Now guys, seminar work, I done it in like one day, 9 hours put into it. We nailed that one again with a 5 out of 5. Basically like there was, you know, hardware I had to review and all the things I had to write down, but I had to also make you know, a group session, like people were in. I had to introduce the whole thing, the seminar work I put into place, and it gone perfectly. So that was great. That was definitely an exciting time, but it also worked out well. So you know, happy. But yes, I'm really happy. I generally really am happy about myself right now, and the things that have been happening, the studies I've been actually taking, and actually taking the time and educate myself, and not, you know, not really taking any interest as I used to do in the past, which is also another thing I will mention. But yeah, so what else that we had? Okay, so this is the one. The art is coming on Tuesday. Art should not be a problem because I kind of generally like art. I actually do like art. There's actually we're going to be writing down a test. There's of course lots of numbers involved, and I guess we can say there's some sort of history because you need to learn about the old you know, artists in the past, and the general ways of art, and there's lots of numbers, so there's some sort of, you know, history class going on in art as well. But it's interesting. It's interesting because again, like I said, you know, I generally like art, so art shouldn't be an issue. But then we had chemistry, and the thing about chemistry is that it's been forever when I last had chemistry, like legitimately forever. And this teacher is incredibly calm. Like she's an old lady. But she's a nice person, and like I said, like her ways of teaching is like the way of where you just want to like go to sleep. Like it just puts you to sleep. It's like sporing everybody at some point. Like she doesn't want to do it, but those are not her intentions, but just the way she teaches. It's like it's not melody of any sort. It just freaking puts you to sleep. It really does. It tires you, and you really want to do it. It just doesn't go. So basically I was studying and that was a little bit of a twist to the story on why I got a grade of 3 out of 5, which is not a bad score by any means, any stress of the imagination, do we say. But then again, I felt that I could have gotten a little bit better. I could have gotten a 4 out of 5, you know. It's not important at the end of the day, as long as we got this through, as long as we get our rights, you know, as long as we complete our school. That's the most important. Like, who really looks at grades? But then again, you know, I value to a certain degree now that I see that I'm actually getting good grades. You know, may as well stick with this, and you know, not fuck it up thinking, you know, 2 out of 5 is enough. No, I actually want to like put my full efforts right now to get good grades, and not just slack off and you know, how do you say it? Be totally fine with just the bare minimum, you know, the bare decent mediocre. I don't want to go that way anymore. So yes, but here's a story. When we are asked questions, there's a person behind you, you know, a classmate that needs to be inside that class. Everybody else is outside the class, waiting right you know, outside the door. And the thing is, this person is behind you because he needs to see from the eye to eye that the teacher that asks questions, that everything is right, that nobody, you know, gets grades way too high, and you know that everything is going in right order. Nobody is cheating the system. That's how we say it. Because we are the one paying for this. You know, cheating the system could be a factor, but then again, you know, I definitely, you know, hold respect towards these teachers, and I know they would not be doing this. Still, we need to do it because that is how the school rules apply. So there were two people inside that decided to be in, and we were outside. We were like in a line. I was like, you know what, let's go in this line. I was like the fourth person, but there was a girl, right? There was a girl right behind me, and I could see it. Like, I mean, this girl is attractive and all, but that doesn't apply anything here, because I would have still let her pass me, because I could see it. Like, she was really scared and she really wanted to get this done as soon as possible, and I could just see it just straight off. And I talked to her, and it was pretty clear. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let you pass, you know, so you can get a, because I know how teachers work. The more people are gonna go inside, the teacher is gonna get, probably, if there's gonna be bad scores, the teacher is gonna be not so pleased, and it may just start to become, you know, her mood may just change, because she was really happy when she started, you know, when she started with the first group of people, the two people. But then, you know, that mood can change if there's gonna be bad scores coming out. So yes, I let her pass. I was like, you know what, you can go in front of me, it's fine, you know, get a good score. We're all cheering for you, I guess. But no, seriously. So I let her pass, but there was this one girl, right? And it's typical. I don't know how this one works, guys. Like, girls are questionable things, but right after the girl seen that I let this girl pass me, like, she and her army of girls, like, she and her army of females were like going right through me, saying, you know, females before males, basically, you know, girls before boys. And I was like, oh my god, no, no. Why are you doing this to me? You know fully well that I cannot counter that. I simply cannot counter that. Like, you cannot counter that. So basically I was stuck. So I was like, okay, fine, you can all go. And there were like 9 or 10 girls. I mean, are you serious? Like what is this? I made it clear that I'm gonna go after her. I mean, we all organize ourselves, but I guess this person made it clear, you know, gender, gender, yeah. So I was like, fine, okay, fine, you all go. I'm probably gonna get royally screwed for this, but fine, okay, sacrifices need to be made. God damn it. So yeah, that's what happened. I got in, like, I was one of the last because of that reason, because there's lots of girls taking trading school. But I got in, and as I said, I got psychology right straight A5, okay, acing that, because I could see this right spot in this certain, like, facial expression of, I'm really disappointed. Like, right after I stepped in, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get royally screwed. This score is probably going to be affected. My grade is going to be affected by this person's judgment. I can see it right now. Because when a person is not in its, you know, its neutral mood, going below that, then it may definitely affect her. Because I know some people, you know, it's a defective thing. It affects their judgment. And, you know, it is a thing. So I was like, okay. I was just sitting in. I was basically one of the people inside to seeing the situation. As I said, there needs to be a school classmate all the time with you to see the person that the classmate that is taking the questions is legitimately being asked, and the grades are being legitimately put into place. So everything is not going across cheating the system. So I was like, fine. But the questions he got. Let me just put it this way. The questions he got were the absolute questions that I knew it, like, from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom. Like, I knew them fully well. I was like, if I only got these questions, I could have nailed it with 5. And chemistry is the one subject, the one class that I definitely want to get a good score on, you know, because right now it's tougher standing with scores. I mean, it's important to get a good score. But then again, I would have been fine with a 3 out of 5 in general as a whole when I put every class together, but I'm kind of going with 4 right now. Still, he got all the questions and he didn't know a single one. I was like, oh my god. the thing is, if you got these questions, then I'm probably not gonna be asked this at all anymore. So she's probably gonna ask me a different group of questions, and a couple of group of questions much better than the rest. But I learned most of the basic things, and then the questions she got me were the questions pretty much at the end of the whole subject matter for the year. Like at the end, those are the things that I didn't study as much as the beginning part or the middle part or a little bit later on, but she started with the end. I was like, oh man, it's because I'm like one of the last people. I'm pretty sure the first people that got in were free to pick, basically not free to pick, but they were probably, she was like, we're gonna start from the beginning or start at least a little bit more organized. But now, being that she probably asked lots of beginning questions and then middle questions, she's probably gonna start spamming me with the last subjects, the last. Oh man, and I got those questions, and it was a nightmare, but I managed to pull on with 3 out of 5, so it happened. But I don't know why. I know that it didn't really affect her scoring, but it definitely affected the questions I got to some, or maybe I was just incredibly unlucky, because the one question I got, I didn't even study much. I still managed to semi-pull. She helped me out a little bit just so I could come to realize, okay, so this is the thing I should definitely continue in saying, to remember the things I was studying. But I completely stoned. And I also want to say that the reason I stoned is because I was sitting down. I swear to God, from this point forward, no matter what, I will never sit down again. Like when it comes down to teachings, when it comes down to being asked questions, like not writing tests, but legitimately asked questions, I will stand up, because I think much more clearly. And the thing is, if I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna froze, and when I actually go into that frozen state, I get lost. And when you get lost, you are fucked. You are royally screwed, okay? You are screwed as Scrooge McDuck, man. But yeah, so generally the reason I'm telling you guys the scores I've been getting right now is, as I mentioned, Patreon, the people that have been supporting me on Patreon, they have been financing the school, and I feel it's only right for me to explain how school has been taking place, how my grades are going right now for you guys to see, and also to update myself on YouTube. Basically, as we mentioned, what my plans are. 2 years getting this education done, and then getting freak outside. I also want to mention that right now, the winter's coming. It's pretty cold. I felt, this are the month I definitely want to put my full focus into school to get my practice going. I haven't been studying for a while, and I definitely want to get my practice going. But I've been looking at it. I was like, you know what? May as well take this winter time and just study, not really looking for any job in particular, because as of right now, I'm pretty saved up. I am definitely pretty saved up. I'm already saved up for another, another bank cash that they're just gonna be throwing me in the next 3 months. I'm gonna need to throw in another 400 euros, but I'm already saved up for that. But again, the Patreons, you guys have been incredible support, and I will never, I just cannot thank you enough. But still, yes, so that's about that. When the winter's over, definitely gonna get myself a decent job going, or anything, generally, so I can save up. And about the new games, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting them tomorrow. We're gonna be playing them tomorrow. We're gonna come in full force. I know it's been a while. The layout hasn't been here for about 3 weeks now, but don't worry, the layout is coming back. I thought about changing the stuff, but I just did not have the time. I really wanted to, but I just didn't. And I was kind of low on time right now, so basically I have time, but the layout changes right now. I just cannot. So basically, we're definitely gonna use the layout, the old layout, the main layout we used to use, and people haven't been complaining. So I feel like it's still an appropriate way. We haven't been using it for that much time, but still, it's the layout we're gonna use for now. But I'm definitely gonna change it a little bit later, or probably try to make it a little bit more dark, a little bit more, because I kind of like the whole black and white feel to it, but not generally like black and white, but I mean like total black and white, like, or black and white, or black and white, or blue and white. Those are basically the colors that I like. While black is not, generally speaking, not really a color, but yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, with this, I just want to say, I really don't know what to say to this, because I heard the person that is helping me right now that decided to raise the pledge, a person by the name of not Daniel. Daniel Logan is also a Patreon supporter, but Derek Swidrowski is a person that made it clear. He messaged me on my Facebook page, and he mentioned that he got a promotion in his job, which I also want to congratulate him on that. You know, that's great. But the thing is that after he got promotion, he decided to raise the pledge, and the pledge that he raised, I don't know how to actually legitimately say anything back to this. I am basically incredibly speechless. He raised from 20 to 100, and I'm touched. I'm deeply touched, and you don't even know. But this has helped me tremendously. Thank you, thank you, Derek. I keep on mixing you two guys. I'm sorry, but thank you, Derek Swidrowski, man. Thank you. This is definitely gonna help me out. As I said, definitely right now school's taking place, financing school. Everything else is going to bills, or just generally living a life. But also, just to let you guys know, it also helps me get prepared for Auras are coming out. But I can also play other games. So we're gonna start with God Hand, continue with God Hand without risking finances. But Derek Swidrowski, man, I simply have no words for this. This is just, the kindness is just overwhelming at this point. So, but I guess I could repeat the most generic saying, but thank you. So yes, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end this video just letting you guys know Auras coming out tomorrow. I'm gonna be playing them. We're gonna Wi-Fi Bell. We're gonna use that Mega Pidgeot and rate supreme towards everybody, because I fucking love Mega Pidgeot. It's starting to become, without using it, he is my favorite Pokemon right now. Right up there with Marowak, and right up there with Venusaur. He will ruin day, he will hurricane lives, and yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be glorious. We're gonna fall or we're gonna rise in glory. Litleo is also coming out, ladies and gentlemen, so come to me. The champion is waiting in his throne. I got Verdilet standing protecting my back, so I feel pretty prepared. But I feel pretty protected right now. It's kind of typical because Verdilet is like a dragon slayer. I'm like a dragon, so it's kind of counterproductive. But still, Verdilet will not fail me. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you much for watching, and until next time, take care, peace.